Hello and welcome to Sim Racing Mythbusters, where we confirm or debunk sim racing myths. For this first video, where I try to confirm or debunk a sim racing myth, we will try to discuss and prove if using all the track is actually good advice, and if using all the track will actually get you better lap times. I'm going to show in theory what using all the track actually means. Then I'm going to jump on my sim rig and show you that in practice, and then we'll confirm or debunk if this technique actually works and improves your lap times, or it's just not useful at all. So let me explain a little bit more further what using all the track actually means. So let's say you have a right-hander here. You want to do a right-hander or something like this. I'm really bad at drawing, so forgive me about my drawing skills. And let's say you have here your curbing. So you have your curbing here. And in theory, you should have some curbing there. Okay, something around these lines. So what you want to do is open up a trajectory as wide as possible to the left, because this is a right-hander. If it was a left-hander, it will be the opposite. You want to open up a trajectory and you want to do something like this, okay? You want to cut it. You want to go through here and open up as you exit. Let's try to make this a little bit in a smaller scale. I'm really bad at this, so at drawing. So you want to do something like this. So you want to curve like this. You want to curve like this, okay? So you want to open your trajectory here, get through there, and go something like this. If it's a tighter turn, like something like a hairpin or something of that sort, it's the same thing. You open up a trajectory, you want to cut here and exit like exit there. So because this is going to shorten your travel. So if you use a more of a straight line approach or something as straight line as possible, it means that you're just going through less distance, and less distance means less lap times. So you open up here and you cut through there and open up. And also, it's also important to, when you cut here, to also try to open up as soon as possible, because at the apex, you will try to start to put on some power on your wheels, and you can then let the car open up, which is kind of a natural thing for a car to do. It's to do that trajectory. So if you do this and you fight the car to stay there for too long, you will just lose time, lose grip. Your rear is going to try to get in front of you. So that's kind of a no-no, unless some emergency situation arises and you have to do that to survive, of course. But in a normal run, you want to open up here, cut through there, and as soon as you can, because it will depend on the track, the corner, banking or no banking, uphill, downhill, the car itself, but that's a different story. So in theory, you get here and you start to think about getting to the power. So when you can actually see the exit of the turn, you can start to apply power and let the car open to the other side of the track. So the idea here is to let the car go through the apex and then exit out, going outwards. So let's try to do something a little bit different, with a little bit less angle. So if it's something like this, if you're turning something like this, you want to open up here, get through there, and let the car open when it exits. So if it's something more with a bigger angle, you want to be here, you want to cut through there, and when you feel that you can, and that will depend on several factors, like I mentioned, but that requires a little bit of training and experience. But that's for another video. So when you feel that you can actually start to apply the power, let the car open up to the exit, to the opposite side, and you can apply power as soon as possible, and apply power and let the car open naturally to the other side of the curbing. So just one more time. So if you were doing something like this, okay, you are here, you will cut through there, and when you reach the apex and you let the car open up, and the car will naturally open up. That's kind of its expected behavior, and you should not fight it. So you are here, you take the curbing and you let the car open. Okay, of course my drawing is horrible, but you get the idea. So you come here, you cut, you apply the power somewhere around here, and you let the car open up quite naturally to the opposite side of the track, and you carry on. Okay, so if I do something like this in a much smaller scale, so you have the curbing and you exit, you do the turn and you exit. So you want to come through here, cut through there, and let the car open up, and you apply the power as soon as possible, as controlled as possible. And that this is one of the many factors that will affect your lap times. It's using all the track. So you are using all the track because you start here, you go there, and you open up there. So you are using the maximum length and width of your track. On the opposite hand, if you do not do this, you will if let's say, for example, you keep yourself in the center, so you are doing this, which is something that many people do when they are learning, which is okay. You are not using all the track. So let's put the quote-unquote ideal line in so you start here, you get to there, and you go there. So I'm doing much less distance doing the red line than I'm doing if I was using the black line. So the red line, it's much less distance, and I can apply the power much sooner here, and my exit speed is going to be much higher than within the black line. So this is the theory behind using all the track. But let's stop talking and let's do this in actual practice, and we will compare our lap times. So here you are at the track. I chose MX5s and what things land. Nothing really particular about my choice. I just like the combo, and that's it. So I'm going to do of course I'm going to fast forward on the boring parts, but I'm going to do an out lap. Then I'm going to do 3 or 4 laps trying to be as fast as possible using all the track. I'm not here to beat any records or beat my own times, just to show the point of using all the track. Then I'm going to do a especially slow lap, so I can looking at the times, I can differentiate between the using all the track and not using all the track. And then I'm going to not use all the track. So I'm going to try and stay as away as possible of the curbing and do the wrong methods, so to speak. So a few fast laps, a really slow one, then a one without using all the track, and then you come back to the conclusions. Okay, not my best performance. That's not the reason we are here. So I'm going to do a especially slow lap now, just to, on the timings, it's very obvious where was I trying to use all the track, and when I just gave up using all the track, to make things a little bit obvious on the results. Then we come, and then I will not do that many laps in the quote unquote not so effective way, because it's going to be really obvious. But we'll come back to the conclusions. Okay, here we go. So I'll try my best to not touch the curbing and not use all the track and do the opposite I just explained to you in theory. Okay, just a quick analysis, then you can jump to the desk to the for the final conclusions. But you can see you can actually see my point. Of course, my last the lap 8 using the not recommended way, it was the best one because as we go, we optimize the wrong way as much as we can. But it doesn't really matter because as fast as I could go using the not so correct method, I would never be able to beat my correct method times. So even though my correct method, my using all the track time was 125.432, it's much lower than my best time because I was trying to avoid off tracks, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. So using the correct methods without trying hard, I did a 125.4, which it doesn't matter. It's way off, but doesn't matter. Using the not so correct method, I did a 132. So using all the track actually matters a lot, and it's hard to not use it. So I was struggling on lap 6, 7, and 6, especially on 6 and 7, to not go to the racing line. But there you have it. I could shave off a couple of seconds on the not using the correct line, but I would not for the long shot be able to do 124s or 123s, which is usually my usual race pace. So let's go back to the desk for the conclusions, and I'll see you there. So yes, here I am in the end of the session. As I said, I was not trying to go as fast as possible. I was just trying to prove the point. So here we have the times. So this is kind of the break point where I just went especially slow to make things quite obvious. So this was my best time using the use all the track method. And I did a 125.432, not my best performance, but it will do as an example. So obviously all the remaining times not using all the track or really slower. Of course, I have improved as I did more laps. I could improve a little bit more, but it's hard. It's very hard to not use the racing line once you know how to use it. It's hard not to use all the track when you know how to use it. It's hard to brake. It's really hard to brake and avoid the curving. It's something hard to do once you know how to do it by using all the track. So I have improved. I could improve a couple of seconds more, but I could never improve to the point to do as good as while doing the use all the track method. So even though this is very unscientific, but maybe that's also for the best. So yes, using all the track actually helps. Maybe the Watkins Glen, it's not the best track to prove this because Watkins Glen, at least this version of Watkins Glen, doesn't have that much curbs, then doesn't have that much turns. It's basically a very fun, different oval in a way, but it's also nice because it proves the point. So if it's in such a small track with so little little turns, so little amount of turns, it's just such an obvious result. Imagine a track with more turns. So this will just stack up turn by turn, and you will save lots of time. Well, that's it for episode 1 of Sim Racing Mythbusters. As you can see, this is not a myth. Using all the track actually produces results. It doesn't really matter if you're going really fast or really slow. Of course, going fast, it will just exaggerate the results in a positive manner. So next time you are sim racing or real racing in real life, because this applies to in both situations, try to think about this and try to apply this to your benefit. Sometimes I forget myself and I just harm my lifetime to my results, but that's just me being me. So try to maximize this for your own benefit. Like and subscribe, it really helps to help the channel to grow. Stay tuned for more streamers and myth busting. Let me know in the comments below what other myths you want to suggest me for me to bust or to confirm. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.